Hola guys and girls, and welcome to the team builder for GBA Week 5. We are up versus Joey, aka Pokemon, aka coach of the Bronx Beartics. We of course have no history with each other. He is a new addition to the league, of course, very known player in the overall singles community, Pokemon Showdown legend. Joey, you all know him, you all love him. He was already champion of the UCL. He decided now to join the GBA, and I'm very honored to have a chance to battle him and to wreck him as well. Everybody basically in the draft community looks forward to defeat Joey, and I'm thankfully one of the guys who got a chance. Not only one chance, he is a divisional partner, so I will have a rematch with him, and that means that these matches are very important. Since he is in our division, each win or loss basically counts as twice. It counts as 2 wins or 2 losses, because not only do I potentially win or lose, but I do give as well a loss or a win to another divisional opponent who is in the playoff race versus us. So a win right here counts as 2 wins or 2 losses in the overall playoff race, which is basically the whole goal of the regular season, is to end up in playoffs. So yeah, that's why these divisional matchups are so important. But yeah, first time matchup with Joey, not overall history, like he didn't battle anywhere so far, not as far as I remember. I don't think I ever sniped him on the ladder, so this is our first time matching up with each other, and he got quite the threatening team, and let me go all that real quick. He got the Zygarde, the Stakataka, the Necrozma, Whimsicott, Mega Gyarados, Heracross, Miltank, Scizor, Rhydon, Excelga, and Togedemaru. Togedemaru and Necrozma being his Sea Crystal users. So he got a very offensive team, similar to mine. I got a very offensive team as well, but there is a key difference in both our offense I wanna highlight on. His offense is very setup heavy, or not really setup heavy, like definitely more setup heavy than my mons, where his teams has way more potential to sweep through a team if it can set up, where in comparison my team doesn't really has the ability to set up, but in comparison to that, it's more threatening right from the start. And prime example for this Kyurem Black. Kyurem Black, of course, only set up it can is Home Claw, so it's never really sweeping your team, but it's a threat right from the start. Doesn't need setup, it already gets all the 2-hit KOs, whereas many of his mons need the setup to basically to be that scary. Of course, they're always scary. Like, don't take my words like for total truth. Like, these are Mega Gyarados, for example, is a big example. 150 attack is always scary, but just through Dragon Dance it gets like the monster which you have to prepare heavily for. Same with Zygarde, same with Necrozma, and Stakataka, even if you want to count Trick Room as a setup option. And Joey plays that very nicely. He loves to set up mons. If you watch this previous weeks, he loves to set up. He loves to give his mons a more bulky EV spread, so he can set up on that mon, can take this hit, so I can go for Dragon Dance, and then again do this and this and this. So he likes not being the quote-unquote standard offensive Gyarados, just max attack, max speed, Dragon Dance, boom, bang, boom. No, he likes to be more creative. He likes to be more bulky on those, and then he can set up on a lot of mons, and then he can set up, and then he can sweep a team. So he's a fan of not the immediate power, but more of a the setup power, like I already mentioned in the beginning. And so the overall rule versus him is to not allow him to set up, and that way you try to basically hinder him, allowing him to do his game plan offensive-wise. And defense-wise, of course, he has some weaknesses, like similar to my team. We have defensive mons, like we can switch into them, but of course we don't have the best defense of the whole squad. So we usually try to be both very offensive, so definitely expecting a very short game between us. Don't expect him to drag it on for too long. But either way, that's my overall analysis of his team, I want to say. Like, threat-wise, of course, his 4 setup mons, Stakataka, Zygarde, Necrozma, and Mega Gyarados are the big threats. Necrozma there is a bit of a wild card, similar to Mew. It can set up on both sides, physical, special, and on speed. So seeing what Necrozma is gonna be is very difficult. Zygarde most likely gonna be Dragon Dance or Koi, so it's definitely gonna be physical, like special Zygarde. It's just not a thing, even in League format. He might get very creative. He already got a very creative block set in that, so I have to look out for that. Mega Gyarados is a bit more straightforward. You can run it bulky with Restock, like what he already did, but it's always going to be Dragon Dance. And then Stakataka, if he brings that. So far he didn't bring that yet, but I think versus me it's a very chance of coming, because my team just doesn't take Gyro Balls. Like, Stakataka thrives versus more offensive teams, because he just gets a Trick Room, also does everything, and boom, you just Oko them, because they're not that bulky, because they're more offensive. So Stakataka, I think, has a very nice matchup with me, and then Scizor is a big threat as well. The coverage of both Fire and Poison is very annoying versus my team. Doesn't have any other more coverage, but it doesn't really need that. So if range killing wise, I have good switches to Scizor, but just overall switching in is a bit difficult. And then Excelga, if it brings Excelga, it's just going to be there to lead Spike Stack, Final Gambit shenanigans. That's what I expect. I don't really expect like a specs. Why is my thing out. There we go. I hope you recorded that still. I don't know why my PC went out there. But either way, other things I have to look out for is the Rhydon. If he brings Rhydon, it all depends on how scared he is of my Mega Man Electric. If he is scared of my Mega Man Electric, he's gonna bring a special defensive Rhydon. Ugh, special defensive. That sounded a bit weird out of my mouth. But yeah, if not, he doesn't bring Rhydon. So that's my scenario. Heracross is annoying as well, but Finny deals with that as well. So I'm not really expecting that. Whimsicott, of course, always problematic because I don't have the best Fairy Switch and it's pretty fast. Thankfully, it's yeah, not that bulky, so I can with the 14th poison weakness I can OHKO it potentially. But yeah, let's be his team. Let's go over mine right now. Let's do that. So first up, we got our Mega Man Electric, Thunderbolt, Voltage, Flamethrower, Hidden Power, Ice, enough speed for max speed Whimsicott or Scizor. Scizor Assassin, Whimsicott, max speed Scizor. It's his fastest team, most barring Excelgor. So I can allow myself to run a Modest Nature right here. Max special attack, and yeah, pretty straightforward. Mega Man Electric, usually not the most yeah, creative mon or fancy mon. Thunderbolt, Voltage, Flamethrower, Hidden Power, Ice, very standard coverage. I was debating if I want Hidden Power Grass for the Scizor, but then of course I can't hit Zygarde, so I was thinking let's put maybe Ice Fang on it, but then I do the Calcs, and even with another minus attack nature and some investment there, Ice Fang is not doing crap to Zygarde. It's just way too bulky on the physical side, and Manectric is way too weak on the physical side. So I decided Hidden Power Ice, at least hit it for a good about a little bit of damage or chunk chip, depending on how especially bulky Rhydon is. If he's just a standard tank set, Hidden Power Ice does a lot, but if he's like max def calm, it doesn't do that much. And then I have Flamethrower there because with only electric and ice coverage, I actually don't want to be walled by Togedemaru. So I had Flamethrower mainly for that. Of course, it hits the Whimsicott hard as well, but that does hit Power Ice too. So it does hit Heracross harder as well. But main reason was to just not be walled by Togedemaru, because that could actually converse me, because I joked a bit around with him before the match. So yeah, we will see if that counts or not. But that is good boy for you. Just straightforward. If there's no Rhydon, this thing will put a lot of work versus Joey. If he does bring Rhydon, not so much. I just have to weaken the Rhydon, then I can start wall switching around his team. Because it's just way too fast, and if he doesn't bring Excelgor, he's nothing to outspeed barring Scarfus. Next up, we got Miss Cypher, the Lurantis mix of Leaf Storm, Superpower, Toxic, and Giga Drain. This is here to be my Zygarde check. So yeah, it's my ground resist, because with 1000 arrows, you need ground resist, because ground immunities don't exist with that move. And Lurantis is the best one I have, that's why I'm physically defensive with Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm and Giga Drain, I have both there. Before I had Leaf Storm and Synthesis, but then I looked at Leaf Storm Superpower being my only attacks, and they both have only 8 PP, and if he's like a substitute Zygarde, he can easily stall out me of like Leaf Storm, stuff like that, and I do not want that to happen. That's why I decided to have Giga Drain as well as another option. Superpower there to hit stuff like the Stakataka and the Miltank, because there's a high possibility that he predicts my Lurantis to come, because it's my best Zygarde check, and then there might be a Sap Sipper Miltank to deal with that, and that's why Superpower hit that so effectively. Of course I had the Stakataka as well, and then I have Toxic there just not to be walled by stuff like the Necrozma, which I basically can't hit if I don't have any boost. If I have some boost, I can do some decent damage to it, but without boost, he's just a free switch in, so I have the Toxic right there. Helps with our stuff as well, like I'm walled, for example, by the Whimsicott, resist grass and fighting, can talk to that would be great. And yeah, overall, Lurantis is nice. It's nice switching to Rhydon as well if he decides to bring that, and it can deal with the Gyarados too. Of course, it's mainly there for the Zygarde. For Gyarados, I have other stuff, but for the Zygarde, I need to rely on Lurantis, so as long as he keeps Zygarde safe, I have to keep my Lurantis safe as well. But yeah, that's Miss Cypher for you. Next up, we actually have our Gengar with Expert Belt, Modest, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, Icy Wind, 4 attacks, no Sludge Wave. I am actually Modest, and with this speed, I still outspeed Zygarde, but I do actually speed dive Togedemaru, but I saw the possibility of going Modest, and I thought the risk was worth it, him breaking Togedemaru, which he didn't bring so far. So I can hope that he didn't bring it, because then I would have to speed dive with it, but if not, it's just way too juicy to be plus special attack and expert belt. With that, I can throw off his Skarks even more. Potentially he will think I'm Choice Specs with the damage output from the expert belt plus the Modest nature. So I will try to bluff the Choice Specs or Choice Scarf if I don't go for super effective hits as much as I can versus him. With this coverage, I hit a lot of his teams effectively. That's why I have the Expert Belt right here. I actually do not have Sludge Wave because I want to hit other move on that. Initially I was fighting MZ on my Gengar, but Expert Belt Modest Focus Blast does already close to OHKO max special defense Miltank, so the fighting MZ was not really worth it. Then I have Thunderbolt for the Gyarados and Icy Wind for the Zygarde and Shadow Ball open for the Necrozma. Overall, hit this team very nice. Zygarde, I have Icy Wind, super effective. Stakataka, Focus Blast, Necrozma, Shadow Ball, Whimsicott, Icy Wind, Gyarados, Thunderbolt, Heracross. There we go, I have to go for Shadow Ball, those Heracross. Miltank, Focus Blast, Scizor, Shadow Ball, Rhydon, Icy Wind, Excelgor, Shadow Ball, and Togedemaru, I have Focus Blast. So the only ones I don't hit so effectively basically are the Excelgor, the Scizor, and the Heracross, which are not that bulky, Heracross being the most bulky of them all. But they, too, do not like taking Shadow Balls. So yeah, that's why when Gengar is here. I first wanted to have a Choice Scarf Gengar, a Choice Specs Gengar, but versus team, like I mentioned, he's very setup. He's a big fan of setup, and being locked into a move can be very devastating with him. Like, let's say, for example, locked in Thunderbolt, free switch into Zygarde, he can set up. I'm locked into Icy Wind, free switch into his, I don't know, Stakataka, for example, free setup. Or his Gyarados, even, if he Mega Evolves. I'm locked into Focus Blast, free switch into Necrozma. I'm locked into Shadow Ball, free switch into Mega Gyarados once it's Mega Evolved. So, I do not want that. I rather bluff to be Choice, and he thinks exactly the way I just mentioned, like, I'm locked into Thunderbolt, he goes to Zygarde, and then I can pop him with his Icy Wind, or the other way around. So that's why I think not being Choice and having the extra buff is very nice with this team. Next up, we have Kyurem Black with the Roselie Berry, Fusion Bolt, Ice Beam, Earth Power, and Dragon Tail. Enough speed, so I speed type with the Zygarde actually. And yeah, enough attack investment so that I can tweet KO a Mega Gyarados even after the Intimidate of the regular Gyarados. So even if it intimidates me, Fusion Bolt will be able to tweet KO him. Of course, it will OHKO if he stays in regular form, which I do not expect versus Kyurem. So yeah, and then I have Ice Beam, Earth Power as my overcharge moves, and Dragon Tail there, because I do not want setup. Once again, this is to get rid of some setup on his side. I first had Shadow Claw there, but then I did the research and the cards, and it turns out Terra Volt doesn't negate the Prism Armor of Necrozma, so it's not doing a lot more than Fusion Bolt versus him. So I decided to run Dragon Tail just to Dragon Tail him out. It is, in general, nice to get rid of setup on his side and shuffle the Steel Bit around if I have hazards up. The Roselie Berry is there because, like I said, I'm very weak to Whimsicott. If you look at my team, I don't have good Whimsicott switch-ins. My best being Gengar, which is of course not the most bulky variant, most bulky mon. But with the Roselie Berry, Whimsicott is a very high chance that this is mon to revenge kill my Kyurem Black, and if he brings that in, I can just stay in. Even with Moonblast, I can OHKO it with Ice Beam. If he goes for U-turn, I can get a big hit or something else, and if he just goes for Giga Drain, that of course not doing a lot, and I can OHKO it back as well. So that's why I have the Roselie Berry on my Kyurem Black, just because Whimsicott is way too big of a problem. I was debating Chocolate Berry or something like that, or Choice Scarf even, but once again, I do not want to be Choice Scarf versus him with something like Fusion Bolt or Ice Beam when he gets free switches into something else. And Chocolate Berry would be for Heracross, but I have ways to deal with Heracross where I have less ways to deal with Whimsicott, so that's why I have the Roselie Berry. Next up, we have our extra choice cover team, which is the Tapu Fini max speed. So I do outspeed or speed type. Let me look at the team again. What do I speed type with? Zygarde, no, Necrozma outspeed. Mega Gyarados, there we go. I speed Mega Gyarados, which is base 81, I think. So Heracross, I speed type with Heracross, there we go. Moonblast, Surfkin, Power Electric, and Defog. Defog goes there because I want to get rid of his. That's if he brings the Excalibur, he gets potential spike stacking. I do not want that versus my team. My whole team is grounded, like you can see right here. So spikes would actually be very annoying, so I want to defog them away. And then I decided for an offensive Tapu Fini because looking at his team has only two fairies, the Stakataka and Scizor, which are both weak to water. So he has very big trouble switching into Tapu Fini. That's my Moonblast service, basically all the courage I need. I played a lot around with like other moves, and in the third slot, like Ice Beam, Nature's Madness, all this good stuff. In the end, I just thought Hidden Power Electric is better, just an overall, to have a switch into Gyarados. Like, if it's Gyarados, I can just trade switches in, take any hit, and then I'll speed it, go for Moonblast if he Mega Evolve, go for Hidden Power Electric if he didn't Mega Evolve yet. Because if I have Tapu Fini in versus Gyarados, there's a very high likelihood that he wouldn't Mega Evolve because he's scared of Moonblast, and then I can pop him with an HP Electric. So that's why I have that. I decided to at least have one Choice Scarf on the team, of course. Problem with this is this doesn't outspeed a +1 Zygarde, so I do have to take my Lurantis healthy, keep it healthy, better said. And yeah, that's Tapu Fini for you, just there to spam Moonblast and potentially Surf. Mainly Moonblast, because like I said, his switches to Moonblast are not liking taking a Surf to the face. But yeah, that's Tapu Fini for you. And last but not least, we got Chip, our Iron Ball minus speed, Crocodile, Earthquake, Pursuit, Roar, and Stealth. This is my check to the Stakataka. With the Iron Ball, I sadly do not outslow it. On the Trick Room, it's just way too fast still. But with the Iron Ball, I take Gyro Balls for days. Gyro Ball versus this Crocodile spread is only 59 base power. And after the Intimidate, it's not doing anything anymore to me, just like 10 to 20%. And then I can OHKO it with Earthquake. Then I'm especially bulky, so I can take 2 Fire Blasts from the Salazzle and potentially Pursuit it or KO with Earthquake. Like I said, I do have limited Salazzle switch-ins, and pursuing that would be very nice. And Stealth Rock's there because I want a Stealth Rocker, and Roar once again because I want to get rid of hazards, not of hazards, I want to get rid of setup opportunities. With Earthquake Pursuit, there's a lot of his mons which can just set up on me. For example, like the Mega Gyarados. Once Mega Evolves, even if he thinks I have knocked off, he can just Mega Evolve and set up on me. If once he knows I only have Pursuit, the Necrozma can set up on me. So that's why I decided to have Roar on that, just to get rid of the opportunity for setup on his side. Before I had Knockoff over Roar to like deal with Necrozma better, but it could be a Zeemon, so Knockoff is not doing a lot. And then I'm Gyarados is a fully free switch into me, so I decided Roar is overall better. But yeah, this is my main check to this level. Probably the first time I might just go for Rock Swism because rocks are important when it's level down, and hiding the pursuit might be nice as well. But I will see on where the match is if I decide to go get up Rocks or pursue him, because like I said, I only have one switch into the level if he has only Fire Blast. And if he, then I can't hard switch it anymore, basically. I can hard switch it in once, but I can't hard switch it in twice because I'm not Scarf. So I have to basically sack something, then I can get a Crocodile again. So I have to make very sure I make the right decision when I am in with Crocodile versus Salazzle. Other than that, it's a big problem. I can revenge kill it like Finny, Scarf, and outspeeds it. And Good Boy outspeeds it, does a lot of damage after rocks it, all goes with Thunderbolt because it's modest, and Skyrim takes a hit and stuff like that. But Salazzle can be potentially a big threat to this team, like you can see. Nothing really likes taking a fire hit, and the one thing which likes taking a fire hit doesn't like taking poison hits, so Salazzle is a problem. But either way, that is my team. Let me know in the comments what you think about my squad, how the match will perform. It, of course, will be uploaded tomorrow, both on my Joey's and my channel. That's why Joey's channel, of course, is in the description. If you're not subbed to him, definitely do that. Like, if you like my content, you will love Joey's content. So, yeah, that's basically all from me. I will see you tomorrow for the match. Wish me good luck. I will see you there. Ciao.